Welcome to Building What's Next with Generative AI. This live stream is intended to explain and share with some of our Innovator Champions. It's really a roundtable for them to share how they have used our generative AI solutions in Google Cloud. And we'll have some real world experience, some real world insights over the next 20 minutes or so. So I'm Dave Elliott. My role here at Google Cloud is I run the developer advocacy team focused on AI ML solutions. So we basically work with folks who are trying to understand how they can use AI in their businesses. We are a bunch of AI ML experts who like to talk to folks. I'm super excited here to have two guests, JC with Ipsos and Guillaume Blanquier, hopefully I said that right, with Carrefour. If you have questions for our panelists here today, you can go ahead and type into the chat window, and we'll try to get to those towards the end of this session. So before we begin with our panelists and learn from them what their generative AI experiences are with our Trusted Tester program, I wanted to give a little bit of a background on Google Cloud's announcements and what our products are that Guillaume and JC have been testing. So first off, there is a generative AI app builder, and this lets you create chatbots, apps, digital assistants, and customized search engines. And the second sort of part of the portfolio is generative AI support in Vertex AI, and that lets you build and customize and deploy custom foundation models and take advantage of models like Palm in a way that is easy and quick. So that's sort of a background. And so let's just go ahead and jump in with Guillaume and JC and have them share some of their experiences. Let's start with you, Guillaume. Can you introduce yourself, your company, and share with folks what access you've had as a part of a trusted tester?
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much. I'm Guillaume Blaquier. I'm a data architect in the headquarters of Carrefour. Carrefour is a major retailer in France, but also in many countries in the world. And in this, because I'm data architect, I'm also testing the new things about the data. And I had the chance to test the generative AI studio that you can find in the Vertex AI portfolio. And with generative AI studio, I was able to test how to generate data and especially generate SQL queries to query our data in Carrefour, because we're a retailer, we have a lot of tables, a lot of data sets, and sometimes it's difficult to generate a SQL query, and we tested this GenAI studio for that.
Great. And so Studio, in the Vertex component of it, you had access to Studio and used it for SQL. JC, what about you? Tell us about you and your company and what access you've had.
Yeah, I'm a tactical strategist at the office of the CTO at Ipsos, a global market research company. The mission of my team is to reinforce cross-company capabilities and supercharge our technology acquisition mode through partnerships and acquisitions, product development, and software development excellence. Specifically about Vertex AI, I do have access to the model garden, and I've spent most of my time working with Chat Bison and Text Bison, also Gecko, to create embeddings to bring our own content for exploration through LLMs.
Great. So let's sticking with that, JC. Tell us a little bit about what you've built or experimented on. Now Model Garden is a part of the Vertex family. We talked about Studio. Model Garden is another part of the family. So tell us about what Bison is and a little bit about what you've experimented with and what you've built.
Yeah, so I've been working on two areas specifically. One of them is to bring our proprietary content into our solutions by creating embeddings with Gecko. The idea is to interrogate our own data through a large language model. I've been also building very simple domain-specific chatbots to accelerate content creation across some of our activities.
Great. eager to hear more about both of those. Let's give Guillaume a chance to sort of share the same thing. So what have you built? What have you experimented with? You talked about SQL in Studio. Tell us more about that.
In fact, we have many ideas, but yeah, we started with Studio to, in fact, to get our data, the schema of our tables that we have already in BigQuery with data catalog and dataplex, to get this data and to provide the schema to text JSON, in fact, in the as prompt, and to ask a query in a natural language and to expect to have a SQL query as output. And it works, sometimes great, sometimes not. And we have to improve our prompt to solve that.
Yeah. So it works sometimes great, sometimes not. So that was now we're getting into it. So Guillaume, what surprised you most then about your testing of Vertex?
In fact, it's not the generative text, because we saw that with other API and other products, but is the manner that Google propose the prompts. You have a free prompt, you can type text and that's all, but you have also a tabular prompt. And for me, it's very powerful because you can provide some example. You have the input, the expected output, and you have many lines like that, and you can really provide examples, samples of what you have, and then with this prompts you can ask your question, and it's very powerful to have this kind of tabular preparation of your generation, of your text generation, in fact.
So it's really powerful. So because you have both views, you can explain that in simpler or another way.
Yeah, in fact, because it's easy to provide example and sample, because you have the input and the output. And if tomorrow you would like to fine tune your model, you can take your input and your output, put that in a JSON, and send your JSON to the fine tune engine, and you have a fine tuning model like that. And in fact, you have almost nothing to do between the experiments and the fine tuning, and that's awesome, in fact, because it's very easy to switch from one to the other one.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. So same question for you, JC, then. What surprised you most in your testing with Model Garden?
One thing that surprised me was how easy it is to go from the Model Garden, how easy it is to integrate our own data sets that are also on Google Cloud with some of the large language models that are available on Google, on the Model Garden. So integration part is super easy. The second thing that surprised me the most is just the sheer number of use cases that we can use, that we can apply some of these models to improve some of our tasks. Like that number of use cases just keep increasing day after day. So just how flexible the technology is and how easy it is to go from an idea to a prototype, to me, has been a good surprise.
Yeah, that's a part of what's really exciting, I think, is the number of use cases, right? That this can be applied to. There's so many interesting ideas. What were some of the use cases, if you can talk about them, JC, that sort of off the top that you've been applying this to?
So I've been spending a lot of time trying to use a large language model to interrogate some of our data sets, and that includes tabular data sets. And so I guess the main idea is to create embeddings with our text data, but also figure out a way that we can use tabular data, feed that into the model, and then use a natural questions and answers type of interface for business users to interrogate their data sets. That's what I've been spending most of my time on.
Yeah. It's very neat. The number of use cases is really it feels like we're at the beginning, but there's so many interesting new use cases that are popping up feels like every day. So let me almost taking a step back, and this is a little bit along the lines of what surprised you most, but I wanted to sort of give you a chance in your own words to explain the moment where you had oh, this changes everything, oh, this is a that moment where you had a Gen AI epiphany. What do you think, JC? Did you have a moment like that?
Yeah, I started as a casual user of Gen AI, just running fun experiments. But very quickly, Gen AI was helping me get things done that either I would not have been able to do by myself or would have taken me much longer. The best example is a couple of weeks ago when I found a React open source project that I really, really wanted it to use for an internal demo. The thing is, I'm not a React developer, so I started using Bard in this case to understand the repo, understand the main concepts of React, modify the code for my use case. So to me, the aha moment was this takeaway that Gen AI gives us the opportunity to rethink how we go about getting things done, from the very pragmatic day-to-day activities to the more complex strategic issues, if you will.
Yeah, yeah, that's very cool. I think we talk about a human in the loop and an AI assistant, and these are the types of things that you're going to see more and more of in the next few years. It's what I like to call superhuman, right? There's a superhuman AI, but then there's the ability to make humans better than they've ever been in the past. What about you, Guillaume? What did you have a oh wow epiphany moment?
Yeah, in fact, it was um, with Gen AI. In fact, you can generate text, and that's wonderful. But you can see all over the internet other Gen AI that generate images, generate also sounds, and so on. And for me, when I saw that, is okay, I can't generate images because it's not my job, and I don't like to do that. I can't generate sounds because I'm not a musician. But now, if I would like to do that, okay, I have a prompt, I can generate that. Okay, I'm not a professional, but to create a prototype, to speed up something, to prove that my idea is a good one to my bosses, to my company, and so on. It's very easy to speed up and to do all by myself. In fact, before involving other teams to create videos, to create sounds, to create images, it will be consuming for them. I will first to speed up the process only by me, and then to have a prototype and sell it internally to my company and go fast. In fact,
Yeah,
an assistant, in fact, a smart assistant is exactly that.
smart assistant, right? And rapid prototyping, definitely. I mean, some people are left brain, and other people are right brain, and the ability to do things maybe that you're not an expert at through sort of a system like this. Yeah, that's one of the aha moments I had. I can't draw to save my life, but by using some of these tools, I can suddenly be a wonderful, prolific artist. Very very neat, very neat. So let's talk a little bit about the future then. Well, actually, let's stay still. We have some time. We'll stay in the today. So, if you were recommending, we have developers listening to this, watching this. So, if you're recommending to a developer sort of how to get ready, how to get started, as Google Cloud products become more broadly available, as it moves from trusted tester to general availability, what advice would you give them? What should you do to prepare for Gen AI products? And let's either one of you. I don't know. Go ahead, JC. Maybe you go first.
I have two recommendations. The first one is to invest time and resources building a strong foundation for Gen AI. And by that, I mean an updated governance framework where you can partner with peers from data privacy, security, legal, compliance, and work together to bring responsible AI practices into your solutions. Also, a strong data engineering backbone is going to be important, and good data management hygiene are going to be pillars to build great experiences powered by Gen AI. The second recommendation is to connect with communities like Google Cloud or the Google Cloud Innovators to get outside of the echo chamber of our industries and actually gain fresh insights and different perspectives.
Yeah, I've been in Google for almost 10 years. I've been in cloud the whole time, and Innovators is really cool. It's new, and it's a way for people to connect and to get insightful information, early access, things like that. So thank you both for being a part of the Innovators program and being at the highest level champions. And I couldn't agree with you more. And then the other piece you said is around data prep. Also, that's a really common thing that we hear for any AI projects, and it holds true for generative AI too. What about you, Guillaume? Any advice for folks getting started?
Yeah, in fact, it's exactly what you said, because in fact, GenAI, it's wonderful, but it's not magic. In fact, it generates
Not?
something according. It can look magic, and it may be the trap, but in fact, it generates only the quality of data according with your source. And if the source of the data are not enough, if you are bad quality in the source of the data, the outcome will be bad or inaccurate or something like that. And in fact, you have to see Gen AI like any AI product, like document AI, like speech to text or text to speech. If you don't have a good source, if you don't have a good data set, a source data set, if the quality is not good, in fact, your Gen AI tool, because it's only a tool, won't generate the good things. And so on what to focus is to focus always, as always, when you have an AI project, focus on your data preparation, data quality, data cleaning. And if you have that, if you have this basis, you can use the tools, and Gen AI is one tool. And I'm sure you can combine this tool with other things. And we have idea at Carrefour to combine different tools, including Gen AI, to build something big. But yes, it's one tool in your toolbox.
Yeah, so it's not magic. I'll quote you on that.
Yeah, it sounds magic. Yes.
Yeah. And the data, we always talk about AI and how using AI is sort of using examples to make predictions, right? And the examples are your data. So you have to really you really do have to be good with your data, good stewards of your data. Couldn't agree with that more. Okay, now let's shift to the future a little bit, and let's hear. I'd love to hear your take after using Model Garden, after using Gen AI Studio and Vertex. What do you think is going to happen in the future? Where do you think it's going? Where's Gen AI going in the future? And maybe share some exciting use cases for the future. Either one. Maybe you go JC this time.
I think we're gonna go from a point solutions to a more orchestrated value streams, where even the large models are going to be doing some of the orchestration autonomously. We are seeing a little bit of that, although with agents, although the results are, in my experience, are mixed and need a lot of improvement. I also expect to see large models getting better at ingesting and extracting insights from tabular data and structured data. That is, because of my experience, that is where I'm most excited about the potential of Gen AI to change how we go about data storytelling and data analysis. I think the target state will democratize access to data and insights even more, and we will have much better experiences than what we have today to interrogate our data sets with natural language.
I loved what you said there. Democratize insights. That's great. I've heard democratize AI. I've heard democratize a lot of things, but democratizing insights. That's that I really like that term. And what about you, Guillaume? What's exciting? Where are we going?
Yeah, in fact, democratize insight is what we're trying to do with generating SQL query based on our data catalog. But for the future, in fact, what we see is, in fact, the integration of generative AI, as I said just previously, with other products, other AI product, yes, in fact, and to have a pipeline and to be able to have integration, to have a hook to do, and to have a pipelines to get the data from one thing. I have an idea in mind, in fact, to use a document AI to extract a picture and the text to generate a description with the text, and then to generate, I don't know, a new picture based on the source with GenAI, according with the context, because at Carrefour, we have promotion and seasonal promotion. I don't know, you have a table, you have the dimension in text, and you generate a description with this text. And then you have a table for Halloween. You can add some Halloween stuff on your table, or it's the season of Christmas. You can add a Christmas tree and present in front of your table. So you can improve and yes, you can improve your data, your visual, your description, thanks to GenAI. For me, it's a super assistant that help you to do things very fast and easily.
Yeah, super assistant. So you'll be able to do things faster, and then I guess you said this, but this was implied, but also a little bit better. Again, I'm a terrible artist, so to do what you just described, I probably couldn't do that prototyping. Super fast or super agent assistant. Yeah.
Yes, and better because today we are a company across many countries. When you have a description to generate, you have to generate a description in French, in Romanian, in Polish, in Spanish. So you have a lot of things, and we don't have all the skills to generate a picture, to generate a description in all the countries, because we have so big countries and small countries. But to have this super assistant, you can generate a lot of maybe drafts, and then to have a human to review the draft, select the correct one, or adapt the correct one, and that you can do that in small countries. That's why it's a super assistant to generate very high quality drafts. Maybe ready to use, but keep a human in the loop. For now, it's better.
Right. Super assistant, right, with keeping human in the loop. Now that's great. I know we don't have a ton of time left. This is intended to be just 20 minutes. I wanted to just wrap up and ask if there's anything that you want to mention before we wrap up. Maybe one thing that I know other folks have asked, probably one of the more common questions I get asked is, how do you better engage with the community? Both of you are engaged with a pretty, in a pretty meaningful way with the Vertex and with the Google Cloud AI community. So what are your suggestions there, and anything else to wrap up with? JC?
I cannot recommend enough the Google Cloud Innovators community. So please reach out. This is a new area. There is a lot of good, high quality conversation within the Google Cloud Innovators community. So my recommendations is please reach out, post questions on the Google Cloud community, follow content creators working on generative AI. Usually they're super generous, sharing insights, thoughts, and solutions. And just contribute. There are many ways to contribute to the community.
Yep. Join the community, contribute, participate, definitely. And what about you, Guillaume?
Yeah, in fact, it's exactly that. But there is many communities. In fact, you have the Innovator Champion, the Cloud Innovator community. You have also the DDG, Google Developer Group. In your city, you have maybe meetups in your city. You have also the C2C and another community. You have a Stack Overflow, and you can ask questions and so on. You have good articles on Medium or elsewhere. So you have many ways to interact with the community. I also have peers in the community that create good content in YouTube. So you have many ways to learn, to discover, to ask. So the community is various, and you can find the way to interact with it. I'm sure it's pretty easy.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. That engage. Super exciting. So I guess we have a couple of questions. Actually, we have a number of questions from the community. Just in the essence of time, let me take a look. I'll answer that one in a second. Let's see. One of the questions was, how is this different than Bard? The much well understood question. Looks like let me hand that one to JC. Have you played with both? What's your take on that?
Yeah, so I've been using Bard for my day-to-day personal stuff, like studying a particular topic or just brainstorming ideas. But whenever I need the enterprise level security and control and policies that comes with Google Cloud, that's when I start using the Model Garden. So the way I've been going about it is, I guess, is on my personal life, I use Bard. On my professional life, I use Model Garden and all the different models.
That's the best, the simplest explanation I've ever heard. That really is the right answer. I've heard very longer with that. That's right. Personal life, Bard's awesome, really fun to play with, helps me in a lot of different ways. But in professional life, it's Vertex, it's Model Garden, it's Gen AI Studio. That's great. There were a few other questions, but just in the essence of time, let me go ahead and wrap up with a few of these. The last question was one of the questions was, which I'll help wrap up with, is how do I get access to this? So JC and Guillaume are members of we talked about our community, and so they got pre-qualified to get into the Trusted Tester program. There is a URL you can go to join the Trusted Tester program. And I think we'll be able to put it in this live stream. If not, it's cloud.google.com/AI/early-access/join. Let me repeat that. Yes, added to the chat. Awesome. Great. So that's the first thing. Second thing is to get more information. The Google I/O is next week. And we'll be making some really interesting announcements there. Recommend that you sign up for I/O. It's free. It's a virtual event. Well, it's a hybrid event this year, but you can sign up right now. And we also put the link in there, io.google/2023. And then the third thing I'll say is if you can pencil it in, Google Next is back in full force. It'll be a global event in multiple locations. The main one will happen August 29th and 30th. There'll be a very large developer component there, a very large generative AI component there. So August 29th and 30th, the main one is happening in San Francisco at Moscone Center. So pencil that in. I've been told that there's special pricing for Innovators, for Innovators Champions, and there's early bird pricing that ends at the end of this month. But that's going to be a really great way for developers to go and engage with other developers and with Googlers to understand what's real and what's coming in generative AI. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap. I'd like to thank you, JC, to thank you, Guillaume, for jumping on and spending time with the community. This was fantastic. Can't thank you enough for your help and for sharing some of your insights on Vertex and our Gen AI App Studio. This is really fantastic, and have a great weekend. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.